Welcome to another exciting episode of the Purpose and Powerful Podcast. Tonight, we're talking about single through the holidays. You are enough.
That's right. More than enough.
That's right. So I know that you're like looking at these couples, these families, the children, the new booze, thinking about the holiday gifts that you're missing out on. First of all, you are the gift.
That's right.
Don't let that escape you. You're precious, you're powerful, you are the special something. And so you don't need a plus one, you want a plus one, but you can enjoy your holiday season knowing that you made it to the end of the year, all the goals that you wanted to accomplish, all the things in your life that you set for yourself. Congratulations, you've made it.
That's right.
And enjoy this time. Enjoy this time with family. Enjoy this special time with friends. And if you're faith-based, this is a time where we celebrate the King that we serve. Don't be reflecting on the things that you cannot control. This just was not your season to be booed up.
All right. Okay. Getting ready for that special holiday. Some people don't celebrate it, but people do celebrate the holidays. So let's not act like we don't celebrate the holidays. Everyone needs a break. And this is the time when you can feel most loved. You can feel most not with someone, meaning alone. But you're definitely not alone. We're here with Erica Lester, our host, and your co-host, the Real Jabril, with Purpose and Powerful, with our segment about what's that topic again? Everyone, does everybody remember?
Single for the holidays?
Huh?
You are enough. I remember something like that.
Well, you're definitely enough. I correct. I think you're more than enough. I know all of you more than enough, and that's right. So you got to say that and know that, and that's how you went in there today to get those fingerprints, and they let you know. But yes, single through the holidays.
Single through the holidays. Love it.
You do? Oh, look at Reese. Ho ho ho.
Well, this is gonna have to do. Hey y'all, because I couldn't find my.
That's your friend. So you definitely not single. He's a little cute little thing. All right. Well, E, go ahead and start it off. We're gonna talk about just single. You can ask me some stuff, and then you guys can chime in. If not, you still got to win. It's okay. I will start. So I'm gonna just ask you, ladies, what is it? Let's just go back a year ago. How were your holidays, Gerda? First, how were your holidays? Just briefly share that.
I got a background.
Go over, Gerda. You too much.
So, single for the holidays last year. I actually had a boyfriend.
Right.
So my holidays was actually pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I got gifts that I didn't even ask for, gifts that I probably wouldn't have thought of.
Aw.
And so it was very nice. But then we broke up in January. So, but we broke up in January, but he trying to get back now because he called me last night talking about what kind of gifts he bought me, and remember the perfume I got you? I got one that's even better. So, and I've done nothing. We haven't really even talked this year, like throughout the year. So
that's not a surprise to me. Remember, remember, just to share with you, because and I want you to take this. Remember, you just had an amazing accomplishment Monday. So men can sense, and God is trying to trust you right now. It's not even the devil. So I don't want you to get confused of what's your true commitment. All of a sudden, you're going to see all of these people coming at you that you're not even praying for or thinking about, because you are about what? Right now, God's business.
Yep.
This guy's starting to reminisce, and whatever he's been doing for the last year, which was none of no one's business, all of a sudden he's saying, I didn't get what I wanted or whatever. Now I'm coming back to Gerda.
That's what's happening, because it's not me too.
And look, I don't know who he is. Don't tell him that the Real Jabril said I don't want him looking for me, but I'm telling you what happens to us.
Right. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, his mom even called me. So she even was like, are you in Dallas? I'm like, no. And so apparently he called her and said I've been thinking about Gerda, and and just.
Wait a minute. Who called off the relationship? This young man or you?
He did.
Huh?
He did.
What was his reason?
So his wife passed away a year before we met. And so his reason, it was a lot of like ups and downs throughout, and I was very supportive. And so his reason was, he needs to take time to, love himself again. And he felt like, just things emotionally. And then because I'm so far and I'm in Georgia and he's in Dallas, and he needs to be closer.
Right. You
then
need a
I was
snuggle
able
buddy, a
to,
local snuggle buddy. I get it. A
yeah,
bunny.
he wanted to be, yeah, right. He wanted to be closer, but then, and then we were in communication as if we were working on it. But then
Mhm.
we had a big blow throughout, and then he was going to start coming more to Atlanta in April. But then we had a big blow up in April, and then we did not, and that's when the big blow up happened. And we didn't speak to each other probably till maybe like July, August. And so that is kind of where that happened. But that was his thing. But then, the streets be talking, and my dreams be telling me.
Come
And
on, dreams.
right. So I knew that he probably was engaged in a conversation with different women here
Of
or there.
course.
You already know.
We
And
know the game.
he's someone he's very wealthy. So it's one of those things like, dude, you're not gonna be out there not having nobody. Okay. So
You
it's
refuse because for a whole year he just fasted and just waited for Gerda for you
right. Waited for Gerda.
and healed and
And
healed.
healed. Right. And healed. Right. So that's pretty much how that went. But
Oh,
my
okay.
last holiday was really good. And then, and I didn't tell you, we had the holiday, got those gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he broke up with me on New Year's Day. But I'll give you guys a little bit more on that down the road because
Right. To be continued. You guys going to subscribe or something like that because we're not
subscribe.
getting all Gerda's teeth. Gerda we may work on a contract with Gerda because the life of Gerda and Carice who can sing so eloquently. And thank you so much for sharing that, Gerda. Carice,
Thank
we
you.
know, yes, my pleasure, ladies, for being so transparent and vulnerable because men love that. But the right man will use that to help you, not
Right.
take from you. So, Carice, please, my lady of innocence, can you just give a little something for us, please?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Like
Where
singing?
were you a year
Oh,
ago
thank you, Jesus.
doing this time?
A year ago during this time, I was single.
Oh, you were still single.
I've
What
been
about a little thing
single
with that thing?
for
Is that your little man right there behind you? That little,
no, he wasn't in the picture. He just came
okay.
in the picture the
Oh,
day
he's
after
so cute.
Thanksgiving. So we
All
get
right.
along very he shows up. He's always in the background rooting me on, very supportive.
His nose. He lied
I
to
know, cute little nose. But anyway, okay, I'm such a goof. But
you.
I have been single for 3 years now, since 2020,
Wow.
and celibate and pure.
Wow. Are you hear that, fellas? She's single, 3 years on ice, at least 3 years, because the day is another day. So 3 years in a day. Carice. Okay. That's
Yeah,
huge. That's huge.
yeah, been very that's very important to me, my purity,
Mm.
and I am not I'm saving myself until I get married.
So let me ask you, how is it? How is it to do that? I feel it's amazing faith. You ladies, I can see all of you may agree. I mean, I feel you have to be gifted. I know that my wife, Keisha
Wait,
said,
you have to be gifted to save yourself?
or you've lost a lot of gifts and got hurt. People don't just grow up saying, "Hey, I want to be self." I mean, you go through a few things, especially if have touched that forbidden fruit before, and then you get to that point. And I know with my wife, Keisha had said that she got tired of the relationships, the soul ties, and going through it. I was celibate, but it wasn't more. It was more because I was tired. It was expensive. It was dealing with other people's woman that I didn't know that they were with somebody and some guys coming at. I mean, it just got really, really stressful, and I had to pull back. So when the Keisha came in, she was already celibate, and
Mm.
and she had been doing, I think she said 7 to 10 years. I don't know the exact
Oh,
because it wasn't, but regardless, it was a while, at least 6 years.
mm-hmm.
So that helped me. That was a safe place for me because I said, well, I'm tired of it anyways. And I was in this crazy situation with this one young lady in particular. So I used all of that to start changing my surroundings
Mm.
around a person who just, it was nothing to them to be tempted. So I thought, but I noticed that she was pushing away because now things were starting to change. So then I didn't understand it because I was thinking, you cool as I don't know what. First, I thought she was so cool that I didn't even want to really get close to her because I still, Gerda and team, I didn't know if I was really ready to go down that route. So you know what
Mm.
I was thinking? and this is what guys do. I was thinking I'll make her my cool best buddy. Talk to some of her other girlfriends. She could hook me up. You know, I'm an eligible, cool guy, and just be friends and keep her on the other zone, not mess with her path. That's what I said. And I said, God told me that too. He said, leave her alone. You're not going to marry her. But I said, well, I can still be cool and maybe she can help you get some. So
Wow.
that's where I.
Well, and look at you now.
Right.
Yes, but so God always has a plan.
Yeah.
And she had to be humble too. And she would tell you that she had a lot of rules, lists, and all of that stuff. She did. So I was done within 2 months because I wasn't even having fun. This celibacy thing and all the other rules, because it wasn't just celibacy. It was like making telephone calls at a certain time at night.
Yeah.
Then let's say she talked over that time. Then I had to finally just start calling around saying, you know, we passed your time. You know, and they said, oh no. I said, let's relax. So then she started relaxing, and then she had the other rules. And the day that I said I was done, I ain't call her anymore. I ain't call her. So for that one day, she called back and she said, she hit me. Said, I'm telling you, guys like when you're vulnerable. She said, I need you. See? She ain't say God. She ain't say I prayed about it. She ain't hit me with any of that. She said, I need you. And the voice just kind of touched me. And I said, all right, now I can deal with someone who's humble. Put your little guards and your rules down and be real. Guys want you to be real. The right man is going to
Yeah,
honor
vulnerability.
that.
Yeah.
But it's only the right man that you can do that with. And it takes
Yeah.
time. But don't make it so hard for people every step of the way based on your past or something you've seen that was negative in the past from even your friends or your family. You want people to give you the benefit of the doubt, then you got to do the same thing.
Yeah.
One.
And when she said that, like, she spoke to your hero side. Those are things that
It was, and you know me, right? I said, did you, hold on, think of something wrong with my phone. What'd you say? I need you. It sounded like a song. I said, all right. So I couldn't even be that tough after that. I said, well, you want to meet up later on? You want to hang out? Like, yes.
she
That's what a
activated
man wants. Huh?
she activated that like
Oh, she was,
superhero
no,
side
she
that
was
men have.
done. She was done.
Yeah, that's a secret sauce. Women, we have it, but we just don't know that we have that.
You have anything to lose.
We give room for you to save the day. Like because all of those lists and that, do this and I want this, it pushes men away. I mean, we can't come out the gate, come out hot like, do you go to church? Are you saved? Do you call you like, that's just he's already lost. And I just feel like what I'm learning in these 3 years of being single is that, men, you guys just just your nature is competitive. Like, I'll look at how you guys watch sports and you like the unpredictability. That's why you're so loyal to the football games. You just have to, it's like the answer, ladies, is right in our face. We just have to observe. And so he wants to win with us too. Like, men, they really want to win. And when she said that, he was like, oh man, I got a chance now, like, to make her happy. But also I
I
want
felt like nothing was good enough. And one thing you do about a
right,
man,
because you could win, you can't win.
mm-mm.
You out.
And you do, then some of my past people were starting to sense that. I guess they were. So I was getting those calls like, hey, Jabril. And my birthday had just passed. So I don't know if they saw it on Facebook because they probably forgot. And they were saying, happy birthday. I said, well, it was last month. I know, I'm sorry. Let's go out. I mean, the things women do the same thing that men do when they want to get back. And you just got to be cautious and make sure you're not in a real vulnerable place where you just forget about how you were treated or the place they left you a year ago or 2 months ago, because breaking up with someone on a holiday or after
New Year's Day.
That was rough. That was rough.
What?
But you know what?
I got dumped on Valentine's Day too. That was just.
Did he give
But
you any
what is
candies
about these holidays? But
well, how does that happen? So did he take you out first and break up with you?
no, he dumped me the morning of Valentine's Day. Like, man, you
So he
couldn't
didn't
wait.
have to give you any gifts. So he hit you. Okay. Well,
And
Chris,
then like Gertis, and it still came back.
of course he will come back.
Came
But
back.
you know
That's an
what?
impulsive. You know what he did? He had other people. See, I noticed I didn't say one person. So what happens is they don't care what day it is. They're going to do whatever to get out of that situation with you to think it's better, and it's worse. But they didn't know that.
And what I didn't know is my worth, because I went back. Just dumb, you know. But
What day did you go
oh,
back?
I don't know, maybe 3 months later.
And what did he say? He's sorry. That's all he had to say to get you back. What did he
Oh
do?
my God, this was so long ago, but something along those lines.
It's similar.
I've never met anyone like you, boy. When you hear that, I don't care if you're a man or a woman.
I know.
That'll get your
It
ear.
helps. It helps. Or
That'll
tell
get your ear.
tell
If
him.
you don't know who you are, if you don't know your worth, like I always like make sure I preface everything with that. If you don't know your worth, but
Word up.
I wanted to talk about what you said, like go back before we get off too far about the celibacy thing, because you have mentioned something about soul ties with your
Yes.
wife. And
Yes.
so you had asked, well, how am I doing this? And what makes it not a struggle for me is, number one, I do it with God. And when you do anything with God, He takes the burden. So when I made a decision to just seek God and everything, and so any struggle, I didn't focus on that. If you focus on anything that you have an issue with, a weakness, you'll never be able to do it in your own strength. You'll never be able to conquer it in your own strength. So I just focused on God and my relationship, and He took care of that. It was like my appetite for God just increased more, to the point where those desires, it didn't matter what it was. Sex was not my only thing that I I wouldn't call it a struggle. It was just something that I was doing before marriage. But other struggles, those kind of just dissolved and diminished the more I kept my eyes on God. And then in that, you learn soul ties. That's a big thing. Sex is the most intimate exchange between between human beings. There's no, like, one myth that I learned is that there casual sex. There's no such thing. That is a myth.
Or safe sex. No such
No
thing
such thing.
either.
No such thing as safe sex. No such thing as casual sex. When you are, sex is very, very spiritual. Very spiritual. That's why the soul tie thing comes in. So
Mhm.
when you sleep with someone, they are depositing all of their stuff and whoever's stuff they slept with. Okay?
Yep.
So you
Yep.
can sleep with one person and end up sleeping with 500 different souls. All of their depression, all of their trauma, all of their whatever has been deposited into you. And I didn't notice this, but looking in retrospect, I remember when I started having sex, I was like the most bubbly, happy person ever.
Before.
But then it was like, I lay down happy. I get up a month later, like I'm just feeling sad and anxious. This is not me. Where did this come from?
The spirits.
Yes. So when you know these things, you move different. For me now, it's like, it's easy.
And
I don't want your stuff. Nope, it's not worth the curse.
let me go deep with you real quick with this. And I just want to touch it. We're not going to stay on it because it's another subject. How many of you know how you see these people with the bisexuality? And I'm not knocking this. So this is a disclaimer. I'm not knocking anybody who gets confused with that. But I've seen and heard, because you're dealing with people who have multiple spirits and may have multiple preferences, that it could almost pop in your head or something, and you're just thinking, but that's what that's coming from. Because it's nothing that you manufacture. It's just being around certain things and certain people and their choices. So it's real.
I agree. Like, it's like I said, sex is spiritual. I mean, just get deep and a little graphic, but like vaginas, they're portals. Our mouths are portals. These are portals. People are
There you go.
depositing.
You
Okay,
already know.
so
You're
if
real.
someone is into whatever, like girl on girl, all of a sudden, like you sleep with a man who slept with somebody that was a lesbian, now
Yep.
you have same sex attraction.
That's
And
right.
I'm not saying every case is like that, but that is definitely could be a reason, especially when it's just like, well, why do I like women all of a sudden in my 30s?
Or you're right, and I'll reverse it so we don't make anyone feel uncomfortable. You ready? How about all of a sudden I'm walking around and all of a sudden men like me? All of nowhere.
Absolutely, because it's something
Right.
on you that you picked up because
Hey,
you
I'm
laid down with somebody who slept with somebody, a
down
man.
low Lanny, and that's what happened. So
That's why it's easier now, because I can see, like, God opened my eyes, and I was like, you have to really think about it, like the agenda of, for those who believe, what the devil is, one of his is, there's a huge sexual agenda. That's why the media and society is so provocative,
Absolutely.
because that
Absolutely.
sex is like one of the, it's, if not the most powerful stronghold, I
It
feel.
is. It is. It is. If you think about men, when men purchase things, they do it to attract what? Like to make them feel good, but then attract what? A person.
Women, right?
Women.
Or
But then they have to spend money to do what?
keep it.
Right. They leave. If men have money, they feel that that's how they're gonna get women. And of course, women can say that's security, but no, that is a way to get the sex. I mean, some men.
Oh,
You didn't know this, so I mean, you
look,
and
you gotta look, y'all. I
ladies,
grew up under a rock. I was
all you
very
ladies out
sheltered, so
here.
I don't know about these streets like
So
that.
when a man, most men will pay for everything up front, at least for the first month to 3 months. But after that, you paying for everything for the rest of your life or while you're in a relationship. He's
Ooh.
going to deal with other women. He's getting you locked in. It's never going to be as good as it was before, especially if he had an agenda off the top. Gerda, all that money, all that fame, whatever, and a mom and his family does not excuse or even heal you for the whole year. And you,
Well, so
Mhm.
um, what's interesting about that is even though it happened on the 1st of January, and some people might think, oh, it was someone else. It actually wasn't anyone else.
Okay.
What happened was when I came into the new year, it was a lot of communication struggles that we did have. And
Mhm.
so even when the new year came on, and I remember being at church that morning telling one of my friends at church, I think I'm going to cut it off. I think I'm going to break up with him. But I said that out loud to try to convince myself to actually do it, even though I knew deep down I didn't want to do it and I probably wasn't going to do it, right? And I didn't know
Mhm.
how to do it because everybody else that I've dated before him, I've always been the one to cut it off. And not because I'm like, oh, you're done. But I always ask God, if this person is not for me, remove them swiftly and quickly from my life.
Mm.
Mm.
So whenever God will reveal to me and I would have that level of spiritual sensitivity to see, like, got it. Even if I didn't want to, like, come on, Lord, not another one, you know,
Mhm.
right? I'm like, another one bites the dust, okay. But I would always be the one to be obedient and say, okay, I'm cutting this off, and this person would start to show certain things. So with him, it's interesting because I am 37, but that was my second boyfriend. My
Oh.
first, like, actually committed
Oh,
relationship. My
wow.
first was my daughter's father when I was younger. So everybody else, I kind of like dated, or I'll have those seasons like Carice where I'll go 3, 4 years not dating
Mhm.
nobody and feeling okay because I am just in my word and growing. So when
Mhm.
he came along, it was like, okay, Lord, if he ain't for me, remove it swiftly and quickly. And he didn't go quickly, but it was because I needed to he was my assignment and I needed to, he
Mm.
needed me and I needed him in that season because
Mm.
things that from that relationship
I
that
know.
we were together that I
That's
learned
good.
from and he learned from me. And so even his family would call it like Beauty and the Beast kind of dynamic, which is
Mm.
interesting because they said he had a temper, but I've never seen it in the whole year we dated, never seen it. And every time, like if I did feel like his voice was gonna go up, like we was in Antigua and I was on the wrong side of the road and I turned and I'm on the wrong side of the road because they drive on the different side of the
Yeah.
road. And he wasn't yelling, but his voice was in like inflection, like, well, you're not paying attention. We almost ran into the car. We almost hit the other car, which was true. It was coming and I did turn. So I did, but when I see his voice kind of going up, I was just like, sweetheart, you're at a 10, I'm at a 1. It's okay. You are absolutely correct. I did turn on the wrong side of the road and I should be paying attention. You're absolutely right about that.
Mm.
You're right.
Mm.
I could have killed us. Praise God, I did it. Thank the Lord. But I
Yes,
need
sir.
to just bring it down to a 1 with me. And he literally, we've never had like a blow up argument until after the breakup, 3 months after the breakup. Right. And
Wow.
that's when I saw where he was going. And at that point, he was like, I'm a match it when I've never matched it before. And I always like to tell women to be the water to his fire. So along with
Mm.
that,
You like that, don't you?
it taught me my strength of how much power, like Carice mentioned something like women, how powerful we are, and we don't realize that you can have this man that everyone talks about, like, oh my gosh, he was never like that. And you came along and he's laughing, he's smiling, he's doing all these different things, because once I realized that the way that I am to him can ultimately control the whole situation, how he is to me and even how he is to others. So I say all that to say, when the new year came, it was communication issues in terms of like like you said, how often I want to communicate, because we are long distance, right? But those dynamics of his wife passing, it took some time away. You know, it's just emotional that I would never understand because I never experienced that. But I see it in hindsight. But I did ask God that morning. I said, I'm gonna break up with him. I said it out loud. Wasn't really gonna do it. But I also told myself, I'm gonna fast because I need to hear you, Father. I need you to tell me what to do when it comes to him. I literally was in the closet praying and doing praise and worship. My phone is ringing. I don't go answer it. And then when I come out, it was a missed call from him. I call him back and he broke up with me. And he actually hung up the phone, called his mom, because mom ended up calling me and said, I know what just happened. I said, yeah. She said he called me frantic, like, Mom, I made a mistake. Should I call her back? I think I messed up. Because he was like, she was so calm when I broke up with her. Like, I've never seen that, because I just let him talk, express this. And that was the first time he was actually really overtly vulnerable, like in tears. And I let him do that. And I said, I want us to break up? No, I don't, but I'm here to support you through this journey because I'd rather you learn to love yourself again, because I know if I don't let you do that, you can't love me. So he broke up with me on January 1st, but at first somebody would have freaked out and said that was a New Year's resolution, but really it was God moving in the way he needed to move.
And oh wow. So
wow. When I see Gerda, it's like high value woman.
That's right.
Thank you.
You guys want more? I think everybody wants more. So we're going to transition. Thank you, Gerda and Carice. Stay on. We're going to transition over because we got to do our part for New Year's. In the same topic, but I want you to have a new mindset because we're going into 2024.
Yeah.
Through the holidays. But now the theme is going to be New Year, New You.
New
You. Right. We're going to take a pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Get your mind ready for the new transformation that's about to happen for the second part of this segment.